Alabama seeing a surge in coronavirus cases, particularly in minority communities. NBC News correspondent Ellison Barber joining us now from Selma, Alabama. Ellison, you've reported that historically black counties are seeing nearly 3 times the average COVID-19 cases per 100,000 residents. What resources are these communities lacking? What do they need? And is the government on either the state or the local level making changes to try to fix that?
Hey, Allison. Yeah, so I mean, we've been in what's known as the Black Belt area of Alabama for the last 2 days. You have about 19 counties that typically fall into that category. Dallas County, where Selma is, that's one of them. We've also been to Lowndes County nearby, where they have one of the highest per capita rates of COVID-19 when you look at their population. It's a small rural area. They have about 10,000 people living in that county, and about 4% of their population as of this morning have confirmed tested positive for COVID-19. People here, they say that a lot of the issues in this area, high unemployment rates, poverty, lack of access to basic things like food, health care, as well as just proper sewage. They say all of those problems existed before COVID-19, and COVID-19 has exacerbated it. They say many of those issues date back to Reconstruction, and they say a lot of them were systemic built racist issues, things like roadways being built around black communities, so opportunities, they didn't come into those communities either. So now that COVID-19 has come and really spread in this area, we've seen even more issues come up. This right here is the Black Belt Community Foundation. They're a nonprofit that works throughout all of these areas, and they've been pretty critical in helping make sure that people in these communities impacted by COVID-19 have more access to resources. One of the big problems is access to testing, also just getting health care. People have to drive incredibly far often to get to their nearest hospital. They say that the county, they've tried to expand, add some temporary pop-up testing sites. Residents we've spoken to say it's not enough. But one thing that's been very helpful, we're told, is this foundation. They've been doing things like, you can see in here all of these different boxes. They're actually opening some of them now. They've been doing things like collecting donations, money to then put back into 12 of the counties in the Black Belt community, in the Black Belt area, that are really dealing with the largest rates of unemployment and also poverty. So they have 100,000 cloth face masks inside that were all donated. They arrived yesterday. They will then distribute to people in the areas. That seems like a simple thing, but they tell us that a lot of the people in the Black Belt communities, not only do they not have access to that because they simply don't live near a lot of stores, they don't live near big grocery stores, they don't live near Walmarts or Targets, but also even if they had access to buy cloth face masks, like a lot of people have done ordering online, they simply don't have the money to do it. So there are a lot of resources that are just not available to people here simply because so much of the Black Belt, which originally got its name because of its rich topsoil, is really isolated, incredibly rural. And we're seeing a lot of the problems that they've had in the past really get a lot worse and kind of risen to the front, if you will. And some people we've spoken to, they say that this is really, in a weird way, a blessing of COVID-19, because maybe for the first time, some people who hadn't been paying attention are starting to see how hard things are for a lot of people in the Black Belt, especially when it comes to just their general living conditions and well-being. Allison?
Ellison, you mentioned you've been speaking to people there in Alabama. I know you spoke with a pastor who's been trying to help his community through this crisis. What did he tell you?
Yeah, that was a Pastor Braxton over in Lowndes County. He's born and raised in that area. He said that it feels like right now he's having to bury someone almost every single week because of COVID-19. If I can, I'll let you just listen to what he told us.
In the last 10 days, I've buried two members of this church with coronavirus, and I buried a neighbor with coronavirus. Three of them who were really a part of the Snow Hill Christian Church family. That hit us pretty heavy.
The people we've spoken to say some of what makes all of this so hard is that they are small, close-knit communities, and they feel like this disease is just a pest that is ravaging through so many of these small areas where they already didn't have great access to jobs, didn't have great access to health care, and now when they need it most, they're really have very few options. Allison.
Yeah, Ellison, to bury 3 folks in just a few days, it's overwhelming. Ellison Barber in Selma, thank you so much.
Hey, NBC News viewers, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.